Recording that it's recording now.
Hi, Sam. Thank you for coming in today.
Hi.
So,
Yeah.
did you have anything you wanted to go over with the case we're having right now?
Yeah, as the outreach coordinator, I've been working with a lot of people, talking to a lot of people, and um it's been a little difficult. And one of the barriers that I'm facing is students who are withdrawn. There's a specific student who doesn't want to talk.
Mhm.
Um, from your perspective, what do you think is the best way to approach this student, like, or any student that's withdrawn and, doesn't really want to talk?
Yeah, I think after a major accident like this, like shutdowns like that are really common, and pushing them to talk is going to backfire. So, I'd start with kind of like gentle presence, grounding exercises, and kind of giving them the choices on seeing what they're more comfortable with doing instead
Mm-hmm.
of maybe forcing them with the groups of all the coordinating that you're trying to do. So that way there's no pressure on them and they don't feel like they need to retreat even more. And that
Mm-hmm.
once you feel as if they're more stable, I can do maybe a trauma assessment on them. But I think the first step would be more of regulation than discussion.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you say gentle presence, could you help me understand that a little bit more? Like, does that mean that I sit there and should I not say anything? Or should I say something? Or should I just be there physically?
I think the physical presence is a really big thing. And especially as a coordinator, you have so much on your plate and a lot of things you're trying to get done. So instead of pushing these kids to hit all the wickets you're trying to do, I think
Mm-hmm.
it's just gently offering them the space to choose and knowing that they're not forced and that it's not like an
Okay.
immediate thing. So, like that physical presence, just kind of being that peaceful space for them while you're doing these coordinating events for the families and the students. I think just leaving space for them is a big part of that.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Um, there's also another issue that I faced. There was a parent that was being a little bit aggressive with me and the other staff. Like they were being, a little verbally aggressive, which is understandable. This is a horrific event that happened, and everyone's like, overwhelmed. Um, I'm a little worried about the teachers. They're facing a lot of backlash for everything that happened.
Yeah.
Um, is there any way that I can support these teachers?
Yeah, I think that's really important to notice that the teachers are carrying a lot and so are the students. And I think that's where it comes in with this crisis team that we've created is that I can do the facilitate the grounding exercises for the teachers and maybe the psychoeducation for the parents, and that we can do workshops individually
Hmm.
for them so they're separated and we can respond to their concern
Okay.
and their anger or their sadness separately so we're not having to force them together.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's something I can do with classes or just trying to support the teachers and the parents so
Hmm.
they're not having this overwhelming feeling after something as big as this just happened.
Yeah. And I could definitely help with that. I can work toward, as the outreach coordinator, I can, you know, make events and separate the groups of people so that way, we can have a little bit of control over the situation, but see to everyone's needs. Um, so I can get to work on that and let you know. what you're like when you're available or like when you can show up. And yeah, just we gotta make a plan and go at it.
Yeah, I think we can definitely come up with more of like maybe like a community healing night or
Hmm.
different types of art therapy for the students and maybe some culturally sensitive rituals for any of the other students.
Hmm.
I think we can definitely game plan some of these nights so maybe it's not overwhelming them all at once. And like I said, we can separate them so they're all having their own time. But I think it's also important to remember that you got to take care of yourself too. So always make time to ground yourself. And like some of the things that help me is like emotional check-ins and just kind of talking to other people. So I'm also here if you need to talk about how that's making you feel, because this is a huge case.
Yeah, thank you. I think it is important to take care of ourselves. It's so easy just to give all of ourselves over to wanting to help, but then it's like we need someone to help us too.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but I really appreciate that. I am going to think about ways that I can engage in my own self-care through this.
Yeah, because I think if you're able to mirror like breathing techniques or grounding, the other students and teachers and parents around you are going to see that as well. So it's just more of a kind of helping everybody in this situation as well. And we can also get the other professionals on this as well so we can coordinate their different kinds of maybe they want to do their own nights as well, especially
Mhm.
with the school psychologist because she might be able to help with coordinating for the students and incorporating that into school so we can help when it's time for them to go back to school as well.
I think that's a good idea of, you know, creating prevention plans with the school psychologist, just in case, have them there if anyone needs it. Um, yeah, I think that's a really good idea.
And I think like long-term planning too would be helpful so it's not just this quick trying to get them better and out the door real quick so that they know that we have like plans for like months down the road. So that
Hmm.
way, especially when it comes to the students who may not want to talk right now, maybe they'll want to talk down the road.
Hmm.
Or the teachers, they may be upset right now, but like we can do grief counseling and how to kind of work on that in the classroom when it's time for them to go back. So they're not having to be
Hmm.
afraid of being back in the classroom. And the parents, we can work on that with them so they're not scared taking their kids back to school.
That's true. I think that's a good point. Um, yeah, there's a lot of things to take into consideration and remember for all of this. Yeah, when do need to determine, you know, cultural considerations, um, language considerations, making sure that parents who don't speak English have access to the help as well.
Yeah, that's really important.
Hmm.
I think it would definitely help, especially with all of the people involved in this. And since all the school has limited resources right now, I think we can add into maybe plan if there's any other resources that we need so we can add more people to the team.
Hmm.
Do you think we have any
Um,
we're lacking right now?
I think take into consideration maybe helping parents apply for like FMLA to
Mm,
take care of their kids, while their kids are going through this, so that way they can take time off of work. I think that's a major resource. We can probably bring the social worker in our next meeting and have them help us navigate that.
yeah, I think that's a really great idea. I was also thinking we could add in maybe local church leaders
Mm-hmm.
or nonprofits to see if they can offer any other resources. So, our group isn't being overwhelmed. And that way,
Yeah.
community, we're really getting the community involved in this, so everybody's getting
Hmm.
the help that they need and the care they deserve.
Yeah. I think that's a good plan.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I think we'll probably reach out by email with everybody and like get them working together.
Hmm.
It'd be good to have probably an actual like sit down meeting with everybody so we can break this down so you're not taking on all of the coordination yourself.
Hmm. I'll come up with a framework and figure out and organize based off of like which organizations can offer what and how and when, and disperse that information when it's needed. Um, and organize some like food distribution and probably some other basic resources as well.
Yeah, I think that's a great plan.
Hmm.
We can definitely work on that probably starting tomorrow when we go back, and I'll keep you updated about it, okay?
All right.
Okay, thank you for your time.